There is a fantasy that almost everyone has experienced at some point. I certainly have, and I'm sure you have too. You're sitting in traffic that isn't moving, or you're stuck in a long airport security line, taking off your shoes, pulling out your laptop, waiting for your turn, and in that moment a thought appears. Wouldn't it be incredible if you could simply press a button and instantly appear somewhere else? No waiting, no delays, no inconvenience. One moment you're here, and the next moment you're in another city, another country, another continent. This idea has been deeply embedded in our imagination, especially through science fiction. We've seen it portrayed as something smooth and effortless. A person steps onto a platform, a machine hums, and in an instant they disappear, only to reappear somewhere far away. It feels elegant, almost magical. No airplanes, no long flights, no jet lag, no missed connections or lost baggage, just pure instant movement. It represents the ultimate form of freedom, the ability to escape distance entirely. But when you stop dreaming and start looking at how the universe actually works, things become much less comforting. Nature, as it turns out, doesn't allow shortcuts. It follows strict rules, and those rules are unforgiving. You can't simply bend them because you want convenience. When you examine what it would truly take to move a human being from one place to another instantly, using the real laws of physics, you begin to see a very different picture emerge. What we casually imagine as teleportation is not really transportation in the way we think. It's not like stepping into a car and driving to another location, or even flying across the world. Instead, it requires something far more extreme. To recreate you somewhere else, the machine would need to know everything about you, not just your general shape or your appearance, but every single detail down to the smallest scale. Every atom, every molecule, every configuration of your body would have to be measured with perfect accuracy. Think about what that means. Your body is made up of an enormous number of atoms, each one arranged in a very specific way. Your thoughts, your memories, your personality, all of it depends on the exact arrangement of those atoms in your brain. To send you somewhere else, the machine would need to record all of that information, every position, every interaction, every tiny detail. And according to quantum mechanics, that level of precision comes with a price. In fact, the act of measuring something so precisely can fundamentally disturb it. At the quantum level, you cannot fully determine certain properties of a system without altering it. This means that in order to gather all the information needed to reconstruct you somewhere else, the original version of you would have to be taken apart completely. There is no gentle scanning process that leaves you intact. The process itself would destroy the original structure. So what actually happens in this scenario? You step into the machine expecting to be transported. The system scans you, extracting all the information required to recreate you elsewhere. But in doing so, it disassembles your body at the most fundamental level. The original you ceases to exist. Then at the destination, a new version is assembled using the information that was transmitted. This new person would look exactly like you. They would have your memories, your thoughts, your personality. They would remember stepping into the machine. From their perspective, the process worked perfectly. They would believe they are you, and in a sense, they are a perfect copy. But here is the uncomfortable truth. Continuity has been broken. The original version of you did not travel. It was destroyed, and a new version was created elsewhere. The experience of you did not move from one place to another. Instead, one instance ended and another began. This is why the idea of teleportation, when examined through real physics, becomes deeply unsettling. It challenges our understanding of identity and existence. We tend to think of ourselves as continuous beings, moving through space and time. But teleportation, as physics suggests, doesn't preserve that continuity. It replaces it. So while the dream of instantly appearing somewhere else is appealing, the reality behind it is far more complex and far more troubling. What seems like a convenient form of travel is, in fact, something entirely different. It is not a journey, it is a process of destruction and reconstruction. And whether that reconstructed version is truly you is a question that physics alone may not be able to answer. But he isn't you, he's a copy. And you are just a pile of atoms left behind in the departure lounge. Let's take this apart, piece by piece, just like we would a radio. What are you? I mean, really, you are a collection of atoms, about 7 octillion of them. Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, a soup of particles arranged in a very specific, very beautiful pattern. That pattern is you. It holds your memories, your love for jazz, your fear of spiders, your ability to understand this video. Now, if I want to move you from here to Mars, I have 2 choices. Choice number 1, I physically move the atoms. I put you in a rocket. I burn a lot of fuel and I push you through space. That's the old-fashioned way. That's safe, you stay you. Choice number 2, I don't move the atoms, I move the pattern. This is what a transporter does. It scans you. It makes a map of every single atom in your body. It writes down the spin of every electron, the position of every neuron, and then it sends that information to Mars. On Mars, there's a machine with a big bucket of fresh carbon and hydrogen. It takes the instructions and builds a human being. Sounds fine, right? We do it with taxes. We do it with emails. I send a file. You get the file. But here is where the universe plays a trick on us. It's called the no-cloning theorem. In quantum mechanics, you cannot make a perfect copy of a particle without destroying the original state. You can't just look at an atom and know everything about it. Heisenberg's uncertainty principle forbids it. The moment you measure a particle perfectly to copy it, you change it, you disturb it. So to get a perfect scan of you, to get the map that makes you you, the machine has to rip your atoms apart. It has to measure them so deeply that the connection between them breaks. So here is the real process. You walk into the booth. The scanner turns on. It tears you apart atom by atom to read the data. You are vaporized. You are gone. You cease to exist. Meanwhile, the data streams across space at the speed of light. On Mars, the printer turns on. It takes new atoms. Atoms that were never part of you. Atoms that were just lying around in the dirt. And it arranges them into your pattern. The eyes open. The heart starts beating. The brain fires up. The guy on Mars takes a breath and says, "Wow, that was fast. I'm on Mars." He has your memories. He remembers walking into the booth on Earth. He remembers the flash of light. He thinks he is you, but he's not. He is a perfect imposter. And you, the original you didn't go anywhere. You died in the booth on Earth. The experience of being you ended the moment the button was pressed. The stream of consciousness that you call my life was cut. The new guy on Mars has a new stream of consciousness that just started. It's a terrifying thought, isn't it? It bothers me. It really bothers me, because if the copy is perfect, does it matter? If I take a book, burn it, and then buy a new copy from the store, it's the same story. The words are the same. You enjoy it just as much. But a human being isn't a book. We care about the continuity. We care about the feeling of being alive. Imagine if I told you, "Hey, I'm going to shoot you in the head, but don't worry, I'll build a clone of you in the next room who is perfect in every way. He'll take care of your kids. He'll love your wife. He'll finish your work." Would you agree to that? Would you say, "Sure, go ahead, shoot me"? Of course not. You don't care about the copy. You care about you. You care about the light behind your own eyes. And this leads to an even stranger question, a question that might make you look at your pillow a little differently tonight. What happens when you sleep? Think about it. When you fall into a deep sleep, your consciousness fades. The eye turns off. The brain activity changes. You're gone for 8 hours. Then the alarm rings. The brain fires up and you wake up. You remember who you are. You pick up the story where you left off. But how do you know? How do you really know that the person who woke up is the same one who went to sleep? Maybe we die every night. Maybe sleep is just a natural transporter. The pattern pauses and the pattern restarts. We assume it's continuous because the biology is the same. Now, here's an interesting way to think about it. Every night when you go to sleep, something peculiar happens. Your awareness fades. Your sense of self disappears, and for several hours, you are effectively gone. Then in the morning, you wake up and continue your life as if nothing happened. The atoms in your body didn't travel anywhere. They stayed right there in your bed. And yet the process that you call being you stopped and then started again. If you are comfortable with that idea, if you accept that sleep doesn't destroy you, then perhaps you might be willing to accept something like teleportation. Because in a strange way, the argument becomes similar. Maybe you are not the physical atoms themselves. Maybe what really matters is not the material, but the pattern. Maybe your identity is the information, the arrangement, the story being told by those atoms. And as long as that story continues without interruption, perhaps it doesn't matter what it is made from or where it is written. It's a beautiful concept, actually. The idea that we are not solid, unchanging objects, but dynamic patterns. Think of yourself not as a thing, but as a process, like a wave moving across the surface of the ocean. The water molecules that make up the wave are constantly changing. They move in and out, never staying in one place. And yet, the wave itself continues forward, maintaining its shape, its identity. In the same way, your body is constantly changing. Atoms are replaced, cells are renewed, chemical reactions are happening every second. The matter that makes you up today is not exactly the same matter that made you up years ago, but the pattern, the structure, the organization, that persists. You are, in a sense, a pattern of incredible complexity moving through a universe made of simple building blocks. From that perspective, teleportation starts to sound less like destruction and more like transformation. If the pattern is preserved perfectly, if every detail is recreated exactly, then maybe the continuity of you is maintained in a meaningful way. Maybe it doesn't matter if the original atoms are left behind, as long as the pattern continues somewhere else. But here is where things become personal. Because while the idea may be logically appealing, emotionally it is a different story. You can reason your way into accepting that you are just information, just a pattern. But when it comes down to it, when you are standing in front of a machine that will dismantle you atom by atom and recreate you somewhere else, the question becomes very real. Do you step inside? If you ask me, I would hesitate. In fact, I would say no. I would rather take the long route. Give me the rocket. Yes, it is slower. Yes, it is uncomfortable. It is cramped, noisy, and smells like fuel. But at least when I arrive at my destination, I know that the continuous thread of my experience has not been broken. I know that it is me, the same stream of consciousness, that made the journey and is now standing there looking at a new world. Because when you think about it, the most valuable thing you possess is not your body or your atoms. Those are constantly changing anyway. The most precious thing you have is the continuity of your own experience, the unbroken chain of awareness that connects one moment to the next. It is the one thing that is uniquely yours, the one thing you cannot replace or duplicate. The universe is full of incredible phenomena. There are strange and fascinating ideas like quantum entanglement, where particles seem to be connected across vast distances. There are black holes that bend space and time in extreme ways. There is the bizarre behavior of light, which refuses to fit neatly into our everyday categories. All of these things are astonishing, and they reveal just how strange reality truly is. But even in a universe filled with such wonders, your own experience remains something special. It is your direct connection to existence. It is how you perceive everything else. And once that continuity is broken, it is not clear that anything can truly replace it, no matter how perfect the copy may seem. So while teleportation might sound like a convenient shortcut, it comes with a cost that is not so easily dismissed. It is not just about moving from one place to another. It is about what it means to remain yourself in the process. If you enjoy thinking about these kinds of questions, if you like exploring what lies beneath the surface of reality, then keep going, keep asking, keep challenging your assumptions, because the deeper you look, the stranger things become. And as for buttons, there is only one I would confidently recommend pressing, not the teleport button. That one comes with too many uncertainties. Stick with the safe option. Keep your curiosity alive, and let's continue exploring these ideas together. Who knows what we might discover next?